Hi everybody, my name is Erin Giannios. I'm the president and founder of Bergen County Horse Rescue, and I am going to be showing you how to muck a stall today. So the first thing I'm going to do when I come into the stall is I'm going to get up the urine spot. And you want to use your pitchfork. You don't just have to use your pitchfork in the manner that you would think you do. You can use it in all different ways, to pull with it, to sift with it. So you're going to come in and you're going to scrape together your urine. Get rid of that first. So each horse kind of has their own spots where, and patterns, how they use the bathroom. Some are messier than others, some are pretty neat. Patches tends to be a little messier. So I'm going to get rid of this. So more urine, kind of pull it all together. You want to try to save and be as careful as possible to contain like the good shavings and not have a lot of waste. Shavings are expensive and we go through a lot. Okay, so now you got your pee out. Now you're gonna go for your bigger piles of manure. I know this is just shoveling manure, but there is a method for everything. So this manure is sort of in some cleaner shavings right here, so you want to be mindful that you're not just picking it all up along with all of the good shavings. So you give it a little shake. So now you got your bigger piles up. Now you're going to start like sifting. And as you go, so you can see this is a little bit of a wet pile here. You can kind of pull this up, and the shavings are a little dingier here, so you can get rid of that. And then you're going to go through and you're going to sift, like a big old litter box. So now you're still going to have some more little poops here and there that you're going to have to sift through and pull out. But what you're going to do at this point is start grabbing all of your shavings and pulling them away from the walls. Gather them all in the middle of the stall. By doing this, you're utilizing your shavings the best possible because they end up being banked on the edges of the stalls, and they're not serving the purpose at the edges of the stall. Here's some poops kind of flying around. You can grab those out. This also gets the dust out if there's dust in them from the shavings just sitting on the ground. They tend to get dusty. All right, so now you take your pitchfork and you're gonna stick it into the shavings. You're not going to go all the way down. You're just going to put the tip in. So you want to, as I was saying before, the horses all have their own like patterns of where they like to go. And by doing this, gathering all of your shavings in the middle of the stall and then spreading them out again, you're going to put your shavings back on top of the soiled spot that they're going to soil again when they come in their stalls at night. So now if you have to add more clean shavings, which this one really doesn't need that much more, but we'll add a little bit to it. You have a good base with the old shavings. So you're not putting nice clean shavings in the soiled spots. Now when you're adding new shavings, you can see we have a good base of the older shavings. You're going to take a knife and cut your bag open. I just cut 3 sides open. You have a little lip here. Dump it. I meant to dump it in the middle. And the same idea as before with spreading the shavings out. Okay, so the same idea as before. You have your pile. This is your new shavings, and you're just going to walk around and spread it out. So now, this is a healthy amount of shavings to put down, more than I typically would put down, but this stall should not need more shavings for the next at least 2 days. The amount of shavings that are in here after being cleaned for the next 2 days, you should still have plenty. There you go. In this stall, I'm coming back and I'm pulling all of the shavings away from the walls. And you can see when I do that, all of the dust that's coming up. That's because these shavings were sitting untouched without anybody pulling them away from the walls the last few times that they were cleaned. So that's why it's so important to move these shavings around every day as you're cleaning them. Even if there was no poop or anything sitting in them, you have to move them around. You got to make sure that you're putting these shavings back in the spots where you know they're going to soil. And this is a stall that will not need new shavings when we're done. So another important job of the muckers is to give water to the horses, fill their water buckets that are in their stalls. So this water bucket was not dumped. And if you look in it, you'll see that there is mess in there from birds and grain or whatever else has gotten dropped in there, and nobody wants to drink out of that. That's gross. So before these buckets are filled, you need to look in them, check them, and make sure that it's clean. And if it's not clean, you dump it out. As long as it's not below freezing temperatures, you can dump it right outside their stall. Might make a little bit of a mess. If it's freezing temperatures, you're going to want to walk somewhere else to dump the buckets so you don't cause ice and slip and fall. So now you can still see this bucket is a little dirty, so we'll give it a good rinse and then fill it back up. So this is an example of a stall not done properly. This was done today, and whoever did it, I'm sure they thought they were doing the right thing, but this is the perfect example of what not to do. So this is Murphy's stall. Murphy is the biggest horse here. He tends to make the biggest mess, but he likes to soil this one area of his stall. So this area right over here is going to get completely stripped every day. And then the good shavings that would be left over here then get spread back over to where he will soil when he comes in that day. So now you're repurposing the shavings for over here and moving them over to here. So, but as you look around, you can see the shavings weren't pulled away from the walls, and there's bare spots that shouldn't be showing. And the shavings don't go, they weren't spread out properly at the ends, and there's still messy shavings left that should have been taken out. So we'll fix this up. Okay, does that look better, everybody?